Do, 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 do. The state of the fart. No, it's not a pooter video. The Jack Vale, the pooter. The pooter. That stuff is funny, pooter. Yeah, he has the. I guess he created a. I don't know. It didn't seem like he was an engineer. It seemed like Jack Vale was like a. Like it's just some like surfer dude or something. But maybe he is an inventor. You know, he made the pooter make the fart noises, and it has different levels of the fart. So you can make a fart that's like, or you can make a fart that's like, and you know all that, you know all the different noises of it. All the different. This week. Hey, I love you too, Mom.
Okay.
Good night.
I was laughing. It must be
Oh.
Vicky's granddaughter stomping around over there. I thought it was you, but it's not you.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
You know what I mean?
oh, okay. That was her stomping around.
My head.
Oh.
And it's got to be her, somebody over there walking.
Yeah, it's one of those in the terrible twos.
Yeah.
Yeah, the terrible twos. All that trumping. That's what they call it when the kid is like just crazy going.
Yeah. Really.
Like yeah.
Jumping.
Yeah. In the crazy period, huh?
Crazy.
Yeah. No, I like the teenage period because it's funny how like the teenagers rebel against their parents and stuff. Get a green mohawk and they get like.
How people develop into an adult.
Yeah, I think that's funny. I think it's the funniest when the teens rebel against their parents.
Oh, no.
You know. No, I know it's not funny, but I can imagine people that when their kids hit the teenage years, I bet they're like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, brace yourself. Brace yourself for this shit. Like, I'm not going to school. Screw the system. Or like they get like a green mohawk and like fucking tattoos or something. Just like go crazy. Go wild. Teenagers. Yeah. We got a mess on our hands over here, dude. This is party. This is cooking. This is. Oh my god. This party was. This party was gnarly. I mean. It was a little bit too gnarly. Oh, was that a pretty good commercial where it was like, could all this love be contained in the kitchen? And it's like this couple and they had spaghetti or something and the fucking kitchen's fucked up. Can all this love be contained in this one kitchen? Yeah, that was fun. Was that like a Valentine's Day commercial or that's like all the time? It's fucking cold and it's about to rain in Houston, Tejas. Yeah. Remember when Joe Biden was trying to come up with the Ministry of Truth? The Ministry of Information? Remember that? They got rid of it because like they knew the public was like, fuck that. Yeah. The governance needs to really do all their public spying and their illegal information gathering. They really need to keep that secret. You know what I mean? Because the public, when they find out, they're like, go to hell. So, what does the government view people as? I guess some sort of tax-paying automatons or something, I suppose. I think that's what the system looks. So I saw the latest Black Pigeon Speaks video. Looks like his subs are going way down. He used to be kind of a big deal on YouTube. I think he got sick and then he came back. So I went ahead and subbed to his channel, Black Pigeon Speaks. It's really good. Yeah, maybe he got COVID or he got cancer or something, and now he's back. But thank God he's better from whatever his illness was, and his voice seems a lot deeper. Maybe he's getting older, or the illness did something, unsavory to his life. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. So the state of the fart. Are they going to do that at the State of the Union this year? I don't think the presidential address to Congress. So maybe the Joe Biden address to Congress will go like this. Folks, we have completed 3 years of ruining America, and now the world is going to hell in a handbasket. Congratulations! And they're gonna clap and stuff. Oh, our brilliant lack of leadership. I love it. And they'll be like, woo, Biden, Biden, Biden. Go Joe, go Joe, go Joe. And I'll be like, ah. I like when they walk in, like in the Congress, in the Senate, the congressional chamber. Yeah. Oh man, it's great. It's great when everybody's standing around, patting themselves on the back. Yeah, we did it. We did nothing. Yeah. Getting hyped about it. Yeah, he loved that part. It's great. And then finally, it's like, the president is coming in. The president. And it's like they zoom in the cameras, and he's like, "Hey, Jack." Hey, nice suit. I was like, Lauren, did you upgrade your tits? Good job. I like it. Nothing like a good DC breast job, huh? Yeah, that's where it's at. The bazongas. That one guy, Senator Menendez, did Senator Menendez get kicked out of the Senate for the Egyptian? He had the Egyptian gold, and he had one of those like Eastern European wives. Her tits were like what, like triple D or something, some kind of. When those things were like fucking like the boobs on Menendez's wife were like, man, there's some mountainous forces on that. Mountains. Yeah. So Senator Menendez was like kind of like Weiner, that he like Anthony Weiner. He liked gold, big titties, and it was fun, and lots of cash under his bed too. Like, what was it, $500,000 or something? Man, that guy was pretty. Getting that gold was just like the stroke of genius, though. Some of that Egyptian gold. Was that the funniest thing that David Letterman ever said? I like when he got older and he goes, "You know, I'm seriously considering a walk-in bathtub." That was like it's the best joke he ever told. Besides, of course, if you watch the David Letterman show back in the day, there's a part where Paul Schaefer and the gang, they all go out to go eat breakfast. And at first you see the pancakes that they get brought, and then the camera zooms in, and it's like the whole entire world carved out on the in the pancakes. Oh, that's my favorite gag, that visual gag. Yeah, that's great. when late night TV was awesome, when it was funny. And then what happened to late night TV? Yeah, they didn't do did the Clinton blowjob, intern jokes, and a little here and there, a little jab at the president, the little dig into the powers that be, and a little jab at the man. And then they would tell the joke and it would be over. It wouldn't be like a big long sermon. Okay, it wouldn't be like a political sermon every night on the late night talk shows and the daytime talk shows on Disney and Jimmy Kimmel and what's that grotesque guy? The guy that's like, he's got the fucking bug eyes. He looks creepy as fuck. Seth. I don't know. Whatever the fuck his name is. But that guy that's like, he's really scrawny and he's just like, he's got the bug eyes and it's fucking creepy as fuck. And that guy sucks too. And Corden, fuck, that shit sucks. Not funny. Jimmy Kimmel, definitely not funny at all. Like not even close. So, effectively, yeah, it was great. Believe it or not, there was a time in America where comedy shows, late night television shows, were not used for political propaganda. They weren't tools of the deep state. They weren't tools of the federal government. They were separate. They were supposed to be, entertainment and the press is supposed to be separate from the federal government. And so, yeah, they're supposed to be distinct and distinguishable. Those forces were supposed to be so like me watching a late night comedy program or Saturday Night Live was supposed to be like it was supposed to be a separate entertainment entity that was not tied into it wouldn't feel like going to a Joe Biden rally or a Democrat rally. It would be entertaining. Entertainment used to be like entertaining, and back in the day, people really, people used to put effort. Man, that's a bunch of shit. Oh shit, is it stuck in there? Dude, it's all this. Oh no, I didn't pour it out on time. It solidified. Like the farteries. The arteries. Oh no. Okay. This is not like Led Zeppelin, A Whole Lot of Love. You like that one? The Led Zeppelin song? And the Kool-Aid and the Fool-Aid take you back. I like when he goes, to take you back to school-aid. Yeah, A Whole Lot of Love. That's like a good Led Zeppelin song, huh? A whole lot of love. Way deep down inside. Yeah, dude. Maybe I'd do some late night loudness, but it's like, there's neighbors, so can't just be like singing A Whole Lot of Love real loud. Because I'd be able to hear it through the walls or something. So, what's the most disturbing thing about, the thinness of the walls? It's just like, you don't want to hear some, maybe sleeping one night and hear, harder, daddy, harder. You don't want to, some shit like that. So you don't want to be like, penetrate harder, daddy. Hear some moans in the night, right? So. What up? What up, dog? Yeah. It's cold. It's about to rain. It's gonna flood this week, Lou Dunn. Like 4 to 8 inches. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I got the 7-incher. Oh, the 7-incher. The foot long hot dog. Sonic. Yeah, that's a good hot dog. Yeah. You got the 7-incher. It's gonna be 4 to 8 inches of the rain. Yeah. It's like it's gonna be cold and rainy in North Houston, Texas. And that combo is like, it's kind of even worse than snow because it's wet, rain, cold. Yeah, it's not, that's the only thing, the bayou conditions, the swamp conditions of the coastal plain in Texas, So that's actually, is that the worst weather combination? Cold with rain? Yeah, I think that's a bad combo right there. Warm water at least, on a cold, rainy night. You like that? So Footloose turns 40 this year, 1984. Footloose. So does Karate Kid, and a lot of good movies. Oh, you know what? 40th anniversary of Buckaroo Banzai: The Adventures Across the Eighth Dimension. Everybody's personal favorite from 1984, no doubt. Yeah. Um, no, it was the movie never had a chance because it was just like it was dorks before dork became popular, and so it jumped the gun on the nerdvana revolution of the future. So it was a little bit too ahead of its time for the time. So yeah, there used to be a distinction. I think who changed the nerd versus the jocks? Like it became when like intellectual technological innovation overtook the working class culture. So like a guy like Bill Gates became a multi-billionaire, and then so that changed the society's viewpoint on nerds. They thought, being smart and engineering stuff and learning math and science, it's not nerdy. It's a way to fortune and riches and bitches. And so that was the change in society. You know, they thought, man, I could be like Bill Gates. I could get into Silicon Valley and technology. That would be awesome. And so, and then they stopped making movies like Revenge of the Nerds, where the jocks and it would be like the rich boys would like push down the poor boys. And that's what it was. Like mostly it would be the jocks, and they would just get into sports just, to be active and, machismo and also to look really good so they can pound those pretties, right? So they can get the girls. So get the cheerleaders, get the babes. And so the rich kids, they were all about one thing. I mean, let's be honest. So So that is the usual clique in school, is the rich clique, the preps or the jocks, or that is a particular potent gang in middle school and high school that forms usually. And what they call them, the white hats. Is that what Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris, before they went on their Columbine massacre, they called the in crowd, they call them the white hats or something. I guess it's different for every school what the gang really is. It's usually just a bunch of rich assholes. That's basically what it is. So oh yeah, my favorite Joe Biden story is him talking about, back in the 1950s. Corn Pop was pretty entertaining, I'd say. It was like bullshit, but it was pretty funny. Anyways, to make fun of, not like the story was interesting or anything. It was just retarded. So he's gonna fight some black kid in the pool called Corn Pop, and he got the chain out and all this all this bullshit. Joe Biden, the lifeguard in 1940s or whatever, or no, 1950s. That's when he would have been coming of age, right? So post-war period. He was basically, Joe Biden was like in the happy days, right? So basically what it was. He was listening to Elvis, and then when the Beatles came along, he's like, damn the Beatles, one of those kind of guys. He grew up in the rockabilly era. My favorite Joe Biden is I love this one when he tells this story everywhere, even if he's like at an international conference, even if he's like all the way across in the Indonesia or something. If he's at a conference, he'll bust out this story because I guess he has dementia or something like that. So he'll have like memory flashbacks, and so he'll go, "Remember that movie? You know, it's kind of like we're at an inflection point here." And he'll go, "You remember that movie?" He always says the inflection point. I never want to hear inflection point after Joe Biden is defeated in 2024. That's the stupidest phrase I've ever fucking heard. We're at an inflection point. It's the dumbest shit ever. So, and it's kind of an antiquated term, anyways. So, if he thinks his like speech is like trendy or with the times or anything like that, it's nothing of the sort. So, Biden would go, "Well, there's this good movie, you know. There's this real good movie. It's John Wayne. He walks into the saloon and he says, 'What are you? Some kind of dog-faced pony soldier?' And, oh man, it's such a great John Wayne movie. Oh, just that part where he calls him the dog-faced pony soldier. It's, majestic cinema. Absolutely majestic." There was another time I was amazed by cinema. There was one moment I loved so much. It was, we were like, The Godfather? Oh no. Star Wars? Nah. Jaws? We're gonna need a bigger boat? No, man. Luke, I Am Your Father? Nuh-uh. None of that. What about Gordon Gekko's speech in Wall Street with Michael Douglas? Greed is good. On Wall Street? No. When he's talking to Teldar Papers, he's doing the monologue. No. None of that. No, it's an Alien Resurrection. When Aliens 4, when Brad Dourif, or that weird guy, when he's weird looking guy, right? And then he's kind of like, "What is this?" to Sigourney Weaver. And it's a fork. And she goes, "Fuck." And then he goes, "No, it's a fork." And she goes, "Fuck." And it's a really great part of the movie. It's just really like amazing cinema. Alien Resurrections. Aliens 4. It's, oh man. Yeah, I think that's why it was so entertaining, because the movie was like fucking crazy, and it was silly. It was really just, it was so bad. It was like entertaining. Yeah, I was kind of delighted. I was like, this movie is fucking crazy. Like, it really is. My favorite part is when Ellen Ripley, the Sigourney Weaver's character, is she's resurrected through cloning technology and like mixed with alien DNA or some shit like that. And I love when they're playing basketball on the starship, and then she gets her alien powers give her abilities to not look at the basket and do a reverse shot and everything. A no look reverse shot. Oh, I guess her alien DNA gets her like sticky powers too, where she can like kind of like Spider-Man. Oh my god. Yeah. A lot of people might hate that movie, Alien Resurrection. Yeah, I could see why, but you need to see the... If you see the comic part of a movie that's awful and has awful lines and has awful everything almost, awful acting, awful... You can see the humor in it, that it's like... Alien Resurrection, how much of it was intentionally funny and how much of it was unintentionally funny, inadvertently funny, we do not know. So you'd have to ask the screenplay writers and the directors about that, right? I would go up to the screenplay writer and say, okay, fork and fucking, what do they have in common? Fork and fucking, I guess. Not really. Well, there's an F and a K at the end of both words. Yes, they both have vowels in them. Okay. One's yeah. So that's about it. That's it. They kind of rhyme, I guess. It's alliteration, alliteratively speaking, right? So. Yeah, one of my buddies from middle school, high school, I saw Ronin and it came out 25 years ago, and I don't like the politics of Robert De Niro, fuck Trump and all this stuff. But if I could tolerate watching a movie with him in it, especially maybe something very good like Heat, Taxi Driver, Ronin, something like that. And politics aside, I'll just watch the movie. And I mean, you could boycott Alec Baldwin or Robert De Niro movies if you wanted to. Yeah. But I'm not gonna pay so that Robert De Niro can get more money so he can have another baby at 85, right? That's not one of my life's goals. So. I mean, if people want to boycott companies because of extremely liberal, left coast, communistic views and anti-American attitudes, that's perfectly acceptable. I find that to be a very, peaceful form of protest is to not give money to people. No, not just giving money to people and ideas because you don't have any money, but it's more like you don't actively give Disney money for making crappy products. That's a good form of boycott and protest. That's, sound, it's acceptable, it's legal. Just to boycott, deny, resist. It's nice. So, so the YouTuber Black Pigeon Speaks The hypothesis of his video was that the deep state was going to reinstall Trump so that they could start a war with Iran. How do I feel about this particular hypothesis? It's kind of like, it's better than the Taylor Swift is gay one, okay? So, yeah, then you're getting into some wild territory. But that the deep state would reinstall Trump just to get a war out of Iran. Okay. Does it pass the objective reality test? It's a good premise. Yeah. Okay, premise-wise, it passes the mustard, you know. It cuts the mustard. It passes the litmus test. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. I dig it. I dig Black Pigeon Speaks. Probably start watching more of his videos. They're on a wide variety of topics, mostly politics, but a lot of other things too, I think. Economics, politics, geopolitical issues, etc., etc. So, my friend was studying French in high school because he wanted to be a foreign exchange student. You know, go see the world. You know, so eager to go see the world. And my friend Jeff loved Europe. He really was in love with Europe, especially France. So since this movie had Jean Reno in it, and Robert De Niro, and Sean Bean, and, you know, Jonathan Pryce, and that really super, super hot Irish chick, and super, super, super fucking hot chick. And then Jean Reno, yeah. More of a 1990s crossover international star. And so, Jean Reno, he was cool as shit. Yeah, he's probably like, big actor in France, and then, you know, crossed over into American films. So it was very successful, especially with Leon the Professional and Ronin in particular too. So Ronin takes place all across Europe, and so mostly all across France. And that's where, you know, Jeff was planning to go. So he was like, "Oh, I want to watch this movie," you know. So it's up his alley. It's his thing. And oh, it even has Stella Skarsgård from. He would later star in like Marvel movies and shit like that. Like, I think in particularly he was like the scientist in, was it Thor? I think, yeah. So people did not really like so much during the pandemic that I did the song. I redid, you know, Phil Collins from Genesis. I did, "I can feel it coming in the air tonight, Wuhan." Well, you had a downvote on that one? Yeah. Somebody didn't like it out there. I thought it was awesome. Wuhan's greatest hits. The COVID-19 greatest hits. Dude, I can feel it coming. No, I like when I worked at the gas station and this old, you know, kind of like sickly man, Glenn, this really old guy. I don't know if he had dementia or whatever, but he would come into the gas station and get his cup of coffee, you know, and he'd like to shoot the shit. Maybe he didn't have a lot of friends or something. So he was coming in, you know, like to the gas station at Exxon and asking me, you know, "Hey, what's up, man?" Yeah, you know, like jazzing or something like that. Maybe he doesn't have a son. Maybe he doesn't have a daughter. Maybe he doesn't have a wife. You know, he's just kind of in his last iteration, his last days. Lonely, lonely, senile old man who needs conversation, interaction with other human beings, you know, for his to try to create some sort of social life, I suppose. And so Glenn came in for his usual coffee that day, like usual. Nothing unusual about it. And then he goes, "Hey, man. Hey, you know, what's up?" Late, you know, he wants to jazz. He wants to talk. He wants to conversate. Exchange vocal information transmissions, right? And so then he goes, "Hey, man, I met this woman, you know. Hey, I met this woman. And, oh, she's really nice. She's like," I don't know if he made up the story that he met a woman, but whatever. It was his fantasy, so I just let him run with it. You met a woman. Okay. A woman? You mean of man? Like a of man? Woo man? Oh, okay. Great. Good for you, Glenn. I'm so happy for you, Glenn. You met a member of the opposite sex. I'm so proud of you. And then some of these guys are just trailblazers, I see. And so he goes, "Oh, this woman, what was she was like? She was like, man, she was like Phil Collins. She was like Phil Collins, you know that song, something in the," she was like, "Oh, something in the air tonight, you know?" And I was like, "Glenn, that's wacky what you just told me. Are you taking your Alzheimer's pills? Are you taking your memory pills?" So there was this band called Winger from the 1980s in the hair metal days. And they came up with the song about barely legal teens. That's what rock and roll guys usually sing about. And rock and roller guys usually sing about underage pussy or something like that. I mean, a lot of them do, right? That's like a main. It's also a way that the guys can try to be edgy in their 20s and 30s and shit like that. The Kings of Leon review was like, "These guys are into their 30s, almost 40s, and they're still singing about teen pussy or something." It's like, man, they need to grow up. Yeah, so Winger did this song, you know, Kip Winger, and it was like, "She's only 17, 17. When she gets right to you, she's old enough for me." Okay, 17, and that was the edge. That was the edgy song. Ooh, she's in the age to consent sexually. Ooh. Yeah, that was the big edgelordness. So I tried to look for this song 17 online by Winger and for karaoke. So I was gonna do. So my parody was gonna be COVID-19, COVID-19, and so yeah, but I couldn't find the karaoke, so I couldn't find the song, and that sucked. And that's pretty much. So what did I do instead? I did "Hey 19" by Steely Dan. Hey 19, we can't be seen together. We can't talk at all. And then unfortunately it was on my old channel, so it got taken down because of copyright or whatever. They were doing a lot of, during 2020. There was a lot of big tech censorship and social media censorship because they wanted Joe Biden to win. So they were clamping down on everything else. So it was like, yeah. So how do big tech corporations, how do they illegally censor people? Well, it's very simple. The government can't take away people's rights to speak, okay? Because that's enshrined in the Constitution. That's in the Bill of Rights for a reason, all right? Because the founding fathers knew that if you had a tyrannical government, that the first thing that they would do is shut down freedom of expression and speech, because that would be a threat to their power. And also that the government would try to take away people's guns so they can't defend their lives or their property or their community, you know, so they'd be powerless. Dishes, dishes, dishes. Welcome to Taco Beer. May I take your order? And welcome to Taco Beer. May I take your order? Hello? Welcome to Pizza Butt. Yeah, I saw some video that was on like call for an uprising. It was like boycott Pizza Hut, and I was like, why? What'd they do? Some kind of wokeness or some kind of shit. Yeah, the left is kind of playing a dangerous game in this country, not just for the big tech censorship. That's going to bite them in the ass eventually. And so, now, why do government officials tolerate big tech censorship? Because they're in league with these people. So the politician says, okay, well, I'm a big man in the Senate or whatever. So you big money maker and big tech, Silicon Valley. And so I won't bust up your illegal bogus monopoly. And you're gonna push my reelection and the Democrat Party without question, and then I don't bust you up. See? So that's the deal. It's kind of a threat, but it's kind of a relationship too. I don't break up your big, fat, illegal global monopoly on technology, and then you, in turn, promote my party and my reelection. That's what the deal is. That's the deal. It's illegal, it's unconstitutional, but that's what the deal is. When this deal happened, I don't know, maybe back in the early days of social media. So maybe even, as far back as the Bill Gates times. I don't know. So that was the deal to rob American liberties. Slowly, a group of elites. Was it George Orwell? He said, there will come a time in which telling the truth will be a revolutionary act. Indeed. Yeah, was I upset there was no Winger 17? I was, yeah, because I kind of wanted to sing 17 because it's a funny song, right? You know, coming of age can be a funny topic, I guess, I suppose sometimes. So I don't really remember much about like 40 years ago, the Footloose movie with Kevin Bacon in it. What I do remember is that there's this dance off at the end that plays like Footloose by, what is it, Kenny Loggins or something. And that part I do remember, but the rest of the movie, oh God, it's kind of it's a drudge. So, ooh. Old El Paso. Tacos. Planters peanuts. Oh, nice. This one's beautiful. I'm impressed by your work, indeed. So I love watching Ronin the other night. I love all the actors. I like all the ensemble, but I like the mechanics of the plot are really complicated. So that was great. No, you don't want to watch a film that the plot and the characters and the mechanics are so convoluted like a Christopher Nolan film. And so today, Silence of the Lambs came on. And I started watching the beginning. And I've seen it a billion times. And, yeah, I've been seeing this movie since I was, like, 10 years old or some shit like that. 12 years old or some shit. So I'm kind of impressed that 30 years later plus, I still enjoy that film by Jonathan Demme. From the Thomas Harris, serial killer novels. Serial killer fiction. So, yeah, when I was asking Glenn, I was like, so how's the woman? Oh, you got a woman. Well, tell me about this woman. Does she have nice hair? Is she pretty? Is she tall? Is she short? You know. Is she nice? Is she, what does she do? Blah, 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 blah. Just the normal, like, descriptions. And then Glenn, he goes, she's kind of like, Phil Collins in Genesis. Like, there's something in the air tonight. And I was like, what? Okay. Creative, but, weird. Also weird, but... I could roll. I remember it because it's creative, but it's also strange. Yeah. That was funny. The legendary geography teacher, Tim Rice from Klein High School, that everybody always talks about. The legendary Tim Rice. Yeah. They call him the legendary. He was geography and what was it? Geography and world geography teacher and. I forgot the other class or maybe it was called some bullshit like sociology or some crap like that. Some pseudoscience. Now, of course, if you're a sociology major and you teach sociology, you'll think it's a real science, but sorry, it's not. But it was a great blow-off class. Okay. But at least world geography, you learn something. And so the legendary Timothy Rice from Green Bay, Wisconsin. So, there was a time when teachers kind of lived through their profession. So it was like if you're a French teacher, well, you go to France. Or if you're Indiana Jones, you go do archaeology. And if you teach archaeology, then that's what you go do when you're not working. So that when you go in front of your students, you have something interesting to say and to talk about too. Because you have experiences to share about the world. And so Timothy Rice was like, that's what I'm going to do. Now, he can't obviously afford on a teacher's salary. What do they get paid? Like 30 grand a year or some shit like that? Some bogus ass shit. And public education system, right? So, but he could travel to like the Caribbean on a budget and go to like Mexico and Central and South America, perhaps on a budget, right? Just go check out some backwater third world countries and come back and report to great big North America what's up down there. And come back and tell the world geography students the deal. Well, what's going on? Oh, well, I like his story about Jamaica. Well, I went to Jamaica over the break and, man, all these guys came up, all the Jamaicans came up trying to sell me weed. Oh, you want some smoke, man? Oh. I could imagine him just being like in an all black. You can imagine like a white guy from Wisconsin being like in an all black island, and like Rastafarians coming up to him like, "Hey, buy some weed, man. You want to get some good talk?" I could just like imagine in my head like how funny it would be. Yeah, like it's funny in the No Fuckers, Roman, the YouTuber No Fuckers, and he's like in he's all these hookers like mob him in Bangkok, Thailand. I love that line. Looking for a good time. That's always great. No, it's like, hey baby, looking for a good time tonight? That's always a hoot nanny. Oh, getting this kitchen. This is like the Soul Kitchen. Yeah, I like that song. By the Doors, Soul Kitchen. Soul Kitchen. I actually like forgot the melody. It's like, but yeah, Soul Kitchen. That's a good one. Jim Morrison and the Doors. Well, I think I'm in the mood for a Butterfinger malt tonight, I believe. Some vanilla ice cream and Butterfingers. So, don't you lay a finger on my Butterfingers. That was like Bart Simpson back in the day. Oh, now they have the BFI, the Butterfinger Bureau of Investigation or whatever. We up in the kitchen. And it's straight up bitchin'. Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool. Anything that confuses me about the plot of The Silence of the Lambs, I guess it gets a little choppy at the end, I think. Oh, I believe that Clarice Starling finds the home of the serial killer because the FBI messes up and they go to the wrong house. And so either this guy had multiple properties, or something like that. And I think the FBI they mess up the cities in different states, and that's how there was the address mix up in The Silence of the Lambs. So I think I understand it more now. But yeah, so Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter is obviously phenomenal. He won an Oscar for it. But you know who doesn't work in that movie, though? Everybody else is great. Chilton, Barney, Jodie Foster, Sir Anthony Hopkins. You know who doesn't work in that movie? Scott Glenn does not work. And maybe I'm not really a huge Scott Glenn fan. I never really have been. He just doesn't really. He almost seems like he was just this close from getting into another profession. Like he was just this close from getting into construction or something, And maybe that's why Hollywood uses him, because he looks like a kind of everyday man or something, an everyman type of character. Yeah. Yeah. Never been a Scott Glenn fan. He was never. He was pretty successful. I mean, he had Urban Cowboy, The Hunt for the Red October, Silence of the Lambs. Obviously, was a big gift to his career. So. Oh, do you like Scott Glenn in anything? You know what? I like Greenland. I haven't finished that one up with Gerard Butler. I want to where they have the fragments from the asteroid. I really like that movie because in like The Walking Dead and other post-apocalyptic movies, or World War Z, for instance, I like how in Greenland, I like how it's like an asteroid is coming towards the Earth and it's breaking up into different fragments and it's gonna wipe out. This is gonna be like an extinction level event for humanity. And do I think that special people would be saved, like structural engineers or doctors, people that do important services to keep human civilization going? It could be a possibility. You know what I mean? Like, who are they going to pick? Like somebody who works at the Sack and Save, or they're going to pick a doctor, to survive. So that does make sense that governments would do that. Greasy. Keep it greasy so it goes down easy. Keep it greasy so it goes down easy. That's the Frank Zappa. Oh shit. Shit. This is like the Frank Zappa, like the Dangerous Kitchen. The Dangerous Kitchen. No, they did this. Frank Zappa did this comedy version of Purple Haze, and it was like, I think it was Ike Willis. He's the black character and the African American character in the Frank Zappa experience. And Frank Zappa had a band, the Mothers of Invention, but it's kind of like the Frank Zappa show, though. It's kind of like, yeah, Sting had a band, but it was kind of like, yeah, Sting had a band. Yeah, it was called The Police. Sure. Paul McCartney and George Harrison had a band. Uh-oh. Looks like this is what I feared over here. Okay, we can recover from this though. So got some grease. Keep it greasy. So or his one of the biggest Frank Zappa hits was he's so gay, he's so gay. So when I was listening to it was like Frank Zappa live or something. They were playing Purple Haze, the cover song, and it was like Ike Willis. He's like, Purple Haze, Willie Mays. He's like, rainy days. And he just starts rhyming shit. I like how he goes, Willie Mays, Purple Haze. It's like so silly. Yeah, most of the Frank Zappa, not all of it's silly, but like there's a great deal of comedy though, for sure, on different albums. Oh, that's one of my favorite albums, Frank Zappa Transfusion. It's really good. And So I don't think that people were expecting the level of big tech censorship on social media, because it wasn't really that bad before, like in the 2000s and the 2010s. And then, but right before this particular election, though, the censorship got really, really hardcore, really heavy. And they started to invent new terms in their community guidelines, like misinformation, disinformation, hate speech. They started to amend the meanings of these things. And so the only way to control the language is to change the language, like George Orwellian newspeak. Why did they change the term global warming to climate change? Because they made something, vague sounding. It's like global warming indicates that the burning of fossil fuels will cause a runaway greenhouse effect in the earth. But if there's like a phantom winter storm, then the powers that be can't really call it global warming, because there's a huge storm. There's huge winter storms some years. So they make something ambiguous and nebulous. They make something vague on purpose. Climate change. Well, the climate always changes. No, I realized that on Google Alphabet YouTube that they have explanation. They have explanations of their policies on hate speech, or says anything that does this or that, then will be struck down, right? So, it's sort of like the Ten Commandments is their list of these community guidelines. They want it to be like some kind of spiritual gospel, like. Thou shalt not speak of elections, or thou shalt not. It's basically the disinformation, misinformation guideline to the community guidelines. It always comes in basically the powers that be to take away individual rights and people's liberties. They always say it's because of the children, or it's for the safety and health of the community. They're killing in the name of, So it's always like, well, we have to take away more of your freedom for the benefit of society. So I don't see how the lack of liberty increases happiness or health of society, which it does not. It does benefit some powerful elite people in government and technology. So the military, industrial, pharmaceutical, technological, media complex. that cascade complete. So you gotta get that shit complete. But if you really want to get badass, you go quantum. Because when we go quantum, we're gonna come like a phantom. Going quantum. Quantum phantom. Yeah, I like stuff like that. Words like that. Quantum. You know we're gonna get on them. Oh yeah. Was that the worst decision of all time? The Quantum of Solace? The worst James Bond title ever? Quantum of Solace. That was weird. It was almost like they wanted to name the movie with something quantum in it, so it'd sound like it was futuristic, but it just kind of backfired on them. Yeah. One thing I noticed about early 1990s movies, you know, Jurassic Park, Silence of the Lambs, the Patriot Games, is that there's a lot of obsession over helmets, you know. So and why is there a big obsession in late, or especially early 1990s movies, over night vision goggles? Because that was a new technology at the time, and the public was totally fascinated with that technology at that time. So Hollywood used it a lot, night vision goggles, because it was new at the time, I believe. So it's in tons of Hollywood movies. So the screenwriters were writing the script, and they were like, "Hey, let's what if we, you know, you heard that new thing that the Navy SEALs are using? You know, the night vision goggles? Yeah, let's do that. Where you can see in the dark, and it's green, and it's cool, and let's do that." And then the screenwriter was like, "Yes, we did something trendy. We did something on the cutting edge of technology. It's really awesome." And so it was very trendy at the time, right? Yeah. Bluebell ice cream. All right.
Welcome to Brenham, Texas. We're going to Bluebell ice cream, homemade vanilla.
So now, what's the trend in movies now? Multiverse, for some reason? Multiverse? This kind of interest in like multiple dimensions of ourselves? That was like in an early Star Trek: The Next Generation episode, but I mean that's been theorized by quantum physicists for a long time. Is that there's parallel dimensions and parallel worlds. And that they coexist in the fabric of dimensional space-time. So you got like Ant-Man and Quantumania and all this multiverse shenanigans, you know? Now, what's the Marvel the first to do the multiverse? Really, I want to go with Star Trek. I want to give Star Trek the honor, just because it's a show based on science fiction, and it doesn't mean it was first. It was probably Einstein or somebody like that, But one of the old quantum physicists. So in this kind of universe, there's different versions of ourselves. So there's one version, there's one version of myself where COVID killed me, where I'm dead, and then there's another one that's like this universe where I survive it, right? So there's different scenarios that go on in these parallel worlds and dimensions. So we're kind of like making a Dairy Queen blizzard, We get that Butterfinger on top of that vanilla, that homemade vanilla Bluebell ice cream, and then we're off to the races. Got some dishes going. It's kind of under control. So, you ready for Joe farting? State of the fart. He knows his John Wayne movies. That's some good shit. Oh, yeah. Let's put this, this month kind of blew ass, huh? Kind of sucked. Yeah. It would, not like a picnic, more like a shitnick. But that's life sometimes. All right. Switching to night lights. So we do have an emergency thing that we use, and I'm not going to activate it right now. But if we lose power tomorrow, I'll show you. I think the heaviest thunderstorms are coming around noon. I want to say it if I listen to the weather broadcast correctly. Now, most of everything in the mainstream media is lies. But not everything. Of course, they have to sprinkle some facts into news broadcasts so that people wholeheartedly believe. So, stuff like an accident, a guy gets shot at the 7-Eleven. That's like, they're honestly reporting the facts. Nothing spun or distorted. It is what it is. The car crashed or whatever. Butterfinger, Bluebell. Ooh. You're making a new song today? I guess so. I suppose so. I guess that's what we were doing. Butterfinger, Bluebell, Blizzard. Well, that's owned by Dairy Queen, so we'll call it the Butterfinger Bluebell Ice Cream Malt. Yeah. You can't call it a blizzard or a flurry. So here's what we got on our when it gets cold and rainy, and we got a blanket down here. We have the little blanket right there, and then we have the jackets in the back of the seat, but we also have the hoodie. I wish I had a chair that was like a coat. I don't know. Has someone not invent that yet, or what? Yeah. Okay, and then so we got our hoodie. So we're boys in the hood. Boys in the hood. We're in the hood. Because we're the boys in the hood. Going quantum, boy. Boys in the hood. You got to do it like hood. This will be pretty hooded out right here. Yeah. So. Oh, my coat's on backwards. My hoodie's on backwards. His ass backwards. Or is it? It's just kind of a ghetto coat, huh? Yeah. For real, for real. And so, what people really didn't want in this world is the artificial intelligence pornography. Talk about fake tits, man. I always think it's funny, like, I'll see like a Trump commercial, like on a MSNBC video, or I'll see like there'll be a Biden video on like a Biden video on a conservative guy's website. That's kind of funny. Yeah. I wonder if Matt Walsh is going to gloat tomorrow about the Texans' loss. He might mention it in one of his videos. Matt Walsh. Or he's from Maryland or something. Or maybe even Baltimore itself. I'm not sure. I didn't look at his bio. So this is it. So you get the covers beneath. But if you really want to go the extra mile, you can put on your house shoes. Or if you really want to take it to the next level, check this out. Well, not really checking anything out right now. But, oh, I'm sorry, babe. Oh, my bad, dude. I disturbed me. Well, it's okay. Ooh. It's okay, baby. It's okay. It's fine. Okay. Good girl. Stuff. It's okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I got enough blankets. I love you. Oh. Huggy bear. I'm sorry to disturb you. I love you. Oh. You feel okay, Mrs. Too? Want me to turn on the light now? Okay. It's looking good, dude. Sorry about that. So we're gonna get. All right, let's set this. Kind of reset this up here. Okay, so I got my detective jacket here. I call it my detective jacket because it's brown. It's Calvin Klein. But I'm not really a private investigator or gumshoe. I just call myself that. Okay. So then Mom made it real good, like kind of set it up. And then got the extra blanket right here. Okay, good. Bear, right? So now we got the setting up here. And then for the finale, we're not going to put on the house shoes, but we are going to. Whew. Okay. So it's going to be a rainy week, so there's not going to be a lot of outdoor footage. You know? So there's going to be probably a lot of video gaming. Probably a whole hell of a lot of video gaming. That's if the power holds, the power grid. So instead of having Super Nintendo Sunday, we decided we're going to move it to Secret of Mana Monday. So, not permanently, just for tomorrow. This is the Butterfinger. Yeah. So, screenplay writers think it's so trendy right now to do the parallel universes, multiple dimensions kind of thing. But eventually, you know, it's already coming to the point with Quantum Mania that people were already getting sick of this plot device. And they didn't think it was fresh anymore. It was about as fresh as a mummy from ancient Egypt or something. Butterfinger vanilla malt. It's so good. Well, what kind of posters did I have in the 1990s? Like when I was 10 years old in my room? We had like a Ninja Turtle poster from the movie Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I had these posters were like framed in these glass cases. And one of them was like one had Bartman. I had one of like Bartman. And it said, "I'm Bart Simpson, who the hell are you?" in it. Or no. The shirt I had was, "I'm Bart Simpson, who the hell are you?" And then Bartman was just like Bartman. And then I had the Bartman poster. And so I mixed it up. And then like actually for 1990, I went as Bart Simpson to the trick-or-treating. What was the Bart Simpson costume? It was like the suit, and then it had like the Bart Simpson mask on it. When you got that ice cream on your team, you have quite the dream, Hakeem. That Butterfinger. You like when it was nice when a sexy girl did it. They had this really sexy girl. I didn't get to bone her, if you're wondering. I really liked Melissa. Well, I think she was dying of a brain tumor. So, I really liked this one girl. She was really sexy. But she was sick. I mean, later she would become sick. Not at first. And, it was like one of those girls that was not really interested in like settling down. She wants to have more like, go party or something. And so Melissa had a nice set of boobies. Melissa was very pretty, and she had like long dark hair. She was hot, and I think I got her number, and then I met her at some like crappy bar, and she wasn't really interested in like romantic entanglements, so I said, "Oh, this is kind of a dead end here." No, she was hot. I would have went to butt naked town pretty fast on that. Nice looking, but too bad about her brain tumor and stuff. And I guess she passed away. I don't know what happened to her. Poor Melissa, sweet Melissa, right? Yeah. Sweet Melissa. Yeah, I pretty much like the whole family. The Allman Brothers, and I like Cher, and I like Elijah Blue Allman. I think he's had substance abuse problems right now. With heroin. I never had a problem with heroin or opioids because I don't know. I think there's some people out there that just know where all the bad stuff is, and they gravitate towards that. And I'm kind of like a person who wants to avoid bad stuff, so that's why I don't gravitate towards that. There's some people out there that just... I think I know what it is. Once they do this fentanyl, these opioids, or they are prescribed by a doctor, is that people get addicted to the pain pills and stuff. And Oxycontins and benzos and all this other shit. It's highly addictive. They're painkillers. And then, of course, you got the Chinese Mexican one that they send over here, which is fentanyl, the synthetic opioid. And I never really had well, I think I took 2 pain pills once, but I didn't get addicted. So I had an accident, so I got prescribed some pain pills. But it wasn't like I finished my pain pills and then I was like, oh man, I need to get some more pain pills. That's not what happened. In fact, I had to get off the pain pills because they caused hallucinations. Well, the doctor said, "Oh, that only happens to 1% of patients." And I was like, "Well, it fucking happened to me." So, I don't know how to explain it unless I'm just like really creative. So I have a pretty like expansive imagination, and so that's probably what it is. So like I take a drug like that causes hallucinations in 1% of the patients, but probably 1% of these patients are like creative and have amazing imaginations. Probably it's probably what the difference is. I'm no doctor or neurologist. I'm just saying that's what I guess it was. I'm no expert on pharmaceutical drugs and their reactions and side effects. So I'm not going to stay up till 8 in the morning like last night. We're gonna it's gonna be a rainy week, but we're gonna try to pep it up, and as much as we can, like pepperoni, Hormel pepperoni. That polka guy's awesome, but I'm gonna do some Zelda tonight or something. What do I think? So you got to keep your leaders state of the fart. Nikki Faley, she trying to hit people with the age thing. You're too old. These guys are way too old. Well, a lot of the politicians are old, aren't they? Older. They don't want to retire because they're too drunk with power. The power and control and the special intelligence, The intelligence committees might be so awesome, whatever they have access to. So you probably never want to leave. Maybe it's like some great big adventure that you never want to walk away from. You never want to retire. But you have to because you get old and sick and frail like everybody else. And they don't want to give it up because, well, what if they have access to, like, a senator is part of a Senate, intelligence committee, and he has access to, like, stuff about aliens or something exotic, something cool, and something out of this world, literally. And what if they have special access to that? And it's mind blowing, material, and it's stuff that the public obviously doesn't know. So a guy doesn't want to walk away because he wants to see what happens, and he wants to know special things that most people in the public do not get access to. He wants special intelligence. Only way to get that is to stay in power as a senator or whatever. It'd be difficult to walk away from all the amazing stuff. All the amazing technology. Knowledge of worlds outside our solar system and beyond. Maybe they have other knowledge. Maybe they have knowledge of life in our own solar system. Who knows? But they have knowledge that's far out. They have connections that are deep. And so a lot of people say, well, why don't the old farts? Why don't they want to retire? You know, why are they stroking out on TV and stuff like that? Why don't they just go home to their house and tend the garden, right? And look at their grandkids and something like that. You know, something kind of, I guess you call it like normal, right? You call it standard. Why don't they just go to their beach houses and their mansions and their posh estates and go to their private islands and just have a good time? Yeah. Yeah. And they don't really like that. Maybe they think if they go there, they're going to pass away faster or something. You know, who knows? You got some older people that are like, well, if I just sit around, then I'm going to, I'm just going to deteriorate and I'm just going to, fade away or something like that. You know? So this Chuck Schumer tumor guy, this guy is going nowhere until his last day. Nancy Pelosi basically just had to quit because she was too fucking old. What's she, like 84 years old or something? Like my grandmother's age. So yeah, no one wanted to see those like fake tits on like 85-year-old woman. But maybe 85-year-old woman is like, you know what? It'd be cool to have some big ass titties, be rolling down the beach, but then other people are like, grandma. Yeah, no one wants to see 85-year-old titties, dude. I mean, maybe like Dolly Parton or something, you know. Lonnie Anderson, fucking Suzanne Summers or something. We're gonna bring it back to titties. No, not really. We're gonna get out of there. We're gonna get out of it. You and your Hooters. You and your hoot-tastic dreams. Hoot-tastic. Yeah. Hoot-tastic. Hootie and the Blowfish. Ding, ding, ding. Only want to be with you. Oh, man. Hell yeah. You're reminiscing about the glory days before America was going to hell in a handbasket. Yeah. That would be, really sad to live in a post-America. That was like a declining America that was just going to hell. And you just had to finish out your term like a prison sentence. And people just had to finish out their terms, But what if you could just see people getting poorer and struggling more and more every year, and it was just going downhill and downhill and downhill, and like the problems were just multiplying ad infinitum, and like there was no, it was getting bleaker and bleaker and bleaker and bleaker until the tipping point or the point where American society civilization snaps, So hopefully it won't get that bad, but seems to be going in that Blade Runner, Mad Max style direction. All right. It's gonna rain, 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 and it's not going away. It's gonna rain all week. But I'll try to get a picture of a rainbow and maybe get a video of a rainbow this week going on. When there's a break. When there's a break in the rain, we go find like an Irish, like luck of the, And I'm going to go try to find me ye pot of gold. Go find me leprechaun and ye pot of gold. It's at the pot of the gold is located at the end of the rainbow. Need the luck of the Irish. Yeah. You hope America doesn't become like in the movies where it's like, don't go in there. Like it's Escape from LA, Escape from New York. Escape. the last movie's gonna be called Escape from America. Yeah, he should do it like John Carpenter should do his last movie, Escape from America. They should bring Snake Plissken back. I'd love to see that. Oh man. I wasn't even born when Escape from New York came out. And my uncle was always raving about it. Man, you know, oh, you never seen Kurt Russell Escape from New York, man? I'm about to go finish up Greenland. So if the world was going through a panic, you know, natural disaster, like an asteroid strike the Earth, something really scary, or there was a enemy, you know, whatever it is, nuclear bomb, EMP, electromagnetic pulse hits the power grid, tries to send us back to the Dark Ages. In fact, isn't that what they do in Escape from LA? Yeah, they send an electromagnetic pulse, and then it sends everybody back to the Dark Ages, and the world kind of like reboots, kind of thing. Escape from LA. I went and saw Escape from LA, but I was only like 15 years old back then, and so they had a Snake Plissken look-alike contest at the Woodlands, the Tinseltown, and so I was like, shit, I'm 15, so I don't have black leather boots, I don't have fucking tattoos, I don't have fucking an eye patch, you know, shit like that. I guess I could have got it. And plus, I don't have long hair like Snake Plissken. And I don't have a snake tattoo. And, you know, I'm not... So when I was 15, I was like, how the fuck am I going to... I guess if I would have really, you know, begged and tried my parents or something, got them to let me do it. Or but it wasn't even like near Halloween, I don't think. And, how was Escape from New York? That was really good. Escape from LA was like, but they had that hot chick who played Ensign Rowe, Laren, that sexy brunette chick, dude. You know, that like Babe Bomb. Forgot her name actually, but man, she was fine. She was trying to. She left Star Trek: The Next Generation, and she left Star Trek: Deep Space Nine, so to try to have a career, and it didn't work out. So a lot of like TV women, they try to go get a Hollywood career started and expand into film, and then so like Lauren Cohen from The Walking Dead, and it kind of fizzled out, like her trying to go into different stuff. And it's not for lack of trying, they just no Lauren Cohen as Maggie Ree. It's kind of like the syndrome if you're like Captain Kirk or you're trying to find other jobs, and it's like, hey, it's Captain Kirk. You know, it's sort of, you get like stereo typecasted. And oh yeah, her name was Michelle Forbes. Oh, she was fucking foxy as fuck, huh? Yeah, she was super hot. Michelle Forbes, yeah. Michelle Forbes was that character was written for Star Trek Deep Space Nine. The Kira Nerys. That was supposed to be her. And, but she walked away from it. Yeah, I mean, they were evolving the character of Ensign Rowe, Laren, because they wanted to evolve the character into Star Trek Deep Space Nine. So, but she was like, oh, I'm going to be a big Hollywood big shit. And a lot of the women, they just think, oh, I'm so sexy, I'm so awesome, like, you know, I'm going Hollywood. And then they don't all make it, you know, right? So, but Michelle Forbes did not return back to Star Trek, I don't think, unless she did later.
in later. I don't know if she came back for later series, but like Picard or whatever. She might have left permanently, but I'm not sure. And of course, women can do other things like have kids and raise children. So that could be. She had other priorities. Bluebell Butterfinger. Yeah. So I knew I wasn't going to win the Snake Plissken lookalike contest. I didn't even go see it. I just went and saw the movie. I should have at least seen the contest, see who showed up, Probably some pretty rad-ass characters. Some badass characters. Oh, yeah. I like that Escape from Earth. I think John Carpenter's still alive, right? I'd love to see that. Escape from America or something. Escape from America. It's like Alex Jones, The Prison Planet. It's like everybody's like imprisoned, and yeah, I kind of like that idea. Like, I really hope it doesn't happen. But like, if America is some kind of Orwellian dystopia in the future, I would like to explore the Blade Runner aspect of society, the Mad Max, like the deterioration. It is kind of fascinating when I think about increasing technology, but it becomes more tyrannical as it evolves. So I'm kind of in love with that idea of technology evolving to the point of tyranny or beyond. Yeah, I like that technological tyranny. I like the idea of it. I don't really like it to become real, but I do like examining that in particular, that aspect of technology. Philip K. Dick and George Orwell. I wonder if they'll try to ban 1984 one day. So we won't know what their true plans are. 1984 is banned. Like Bill Gates and like Mark Zuckerberg and all these like tech tyrants start banning books that make people critically think about things. They get rid of all critical thinking books. What they got rid of? Does To Kill a Mockingbird say nigger a lot in it? Because it deals with racial themes and stuff and kind of like racial segregation. I think maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It's dropping some N-bombs in there. They banned it in some schools.
To Kill a Mockingbird. That was like, I think they taught that in Texas, like 9th grade. Yeah. It was great. And then we watched the Gregory Peck movie. It's pretty good. Yeah, that's great stuff. That was actually a pleasurable part of the English curriculum. I like the Shakespeare part. Julia, they teach. I don't know if they still teach Julius Caesar in 10th grade, but what literature did you like from? I always gravitated towards science fiction. That's always my bag of tea. I love science fiction. I just love it. It's absolutely fascinating, technology and how it evolves over the years. Such a fascinating thing. And technology really has no limitation. It's not limited by much except, rules. But rules can be bent or warped or broken. So But in terms of the complexity of technology, how far it could evolve is, yeah, that's my Pink Floyd back catalog. It's got girls' butts, and God knows, I like that. So that's why we have that poster right there. Not pornographic, it's artistic, and yeah, artistic, of course. I'm a man of high art. Look, I have Vincent Van Gogh over there. I have Van Butt. I have Van Ass. Vincent Van Ass. Vincent Van Butt Cheek. Vincent Van Butt Cheek. You know it. 2 hours in, we're good. We're doing good. We got the dishes. We got the Butterfinger malt. We got the dog chin over there. And then we're about to start this rainy Texas week up. This bluesy week. It's flooding down in Texas. Y'all ready for it? It's going to be great. This my baby cry or whatever. Some blues. It's flooding down in Texas. All the telephone lines are down. Yeah, that's some good blues music. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Yes, of course. They got a... So my friend wanted me to... Oh my God. The chemical engineer, Chris wanted me... Mr. Miller, he wanted me to go... So when we visited him in Austin, he made it requisite that we went to the Stevie Ray Vaughan statue in Austin. We took a picture by it and stuff. I was like, why are we going towards the statue? He's like, he was just like, we have to do this. And I was like, okay, whatever. No, we didn't have to do that. I did not mind that we posed by the statue of Stevie Ray Vaughan, Texas blues legend. But, oh well, whatever. We did it, and it's done, and it's in the transcript. It's in the photo album or whatever. Been there, done that, I guess. That's more the thing. Yeah. Women's butt cheeks. Butt cheeks. Okay, so we're gonna complete talking about butts and tits, and move on to another topic. We've finished the butts and tits section of the video. It's like a very stream of consciousness of you to do this video. Like that's like time hopping and everything. It's like super fun. Yeah, so this multiverse shit. I think it kind of culminated in that everything all at once or whatever. Everything, every time, all at once. And yeah, I tried to watch that movie and I was just like, what? Yeah, I know it got high scores on critics, but you can't really trust, you can't trust the government. You can't trust anything they say, but you really can't trust. See, at first, Rotten Tomatoes was a critic aggregate site that reviewed the freshness of a movie based on the critical and audience scores, and it calculated those. So you had a red tomato was the fresh, and then the rotten tomato was the green with the splatter on it. But then what happened? Then everything got rigged up. It was like when the government colluded, the federal government colludes with social media companies to do censorship on the public to control information and ideas. It's very similar to that. Disney, or some big company that was related to Disney, bought out Rotten Tomatoes, and then all of a sudden it was crazy because the audience scores the ones that the users were posting were not matching up to the critic scores. So it'd be like this hilarious situation, because it was fucking rigged, like some political election or something. It's all set up. It's already, the House already, set the rules for everything, and so they weren't. You got all this stuff in modern society where corporate and government America do not want people to be able to affect their world. They want the public to have no impact on the world that we live in. And so they want people to be like just, I guess, tax-paying cattle, I guess is what they want. Some kind of sheep, tax-paying sheep, working sheep. And give us your money, your tax money, and it's do what we say. Don't ask for liberty or freedom or freedom of information, or don't ask for anything like that. But just go to work, peasant slave, right? Give us your money. Yeah. Make some money and we're going to take your money. Woo, thank you. So, yeah. So they look at people as like sheep, peasant, taxpayers. So that's what the feds look at human society as. Just insignificant numbers on a balance sheet. People are just information in a database, like a library. A prison library. Oh. Okay. Oh, sorry, dude. My bad about the noises. About the noise. Okay. Oh. My Nintendo 64 controller. Yeah. Yeah, I know some people say, this is antiquated. I said, I know. Yeah. That's what's so charming about it. It is old, but it's charming. It's iconic. Beep, 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 beep. We're playing video games. Like, you want to play a video game now? I'm getting kind of into game mode. I'm kind of getting a little bit of a Jones for it, It does look like kind of a starship. It looks like sort of like the starship in the Cardassians. Not the Kardashians, but the Cardassians, the alien race. We're like, this is how we used to have fun before, like, computers and stuff, digital downloads, streaming platforms, etc. We used to just have, shits and giggles. That used to be the comic entertainment. Oh well. Texans, their first. They've been to the division 3 times now. Divisional playoffs. So, yeah, 3rd times, or maybe 4th times the charm, I guess. Maybe one day they'll go to the Super Bowl. They'll go to the Super Bowl. I hope so. Yeah. Of course, we must not forget about the revenge. Let's also remember that down with the Baltimore Ravens. So hopefully their dreams are crushed this year as well. Pizza Hut, making it great.
Yeah, I don't know what if there's a controversy about Pizza Hut. I don't know what it is. I guess I could look it up online or something like that. But Pizza Butt. Yeah. Okay. So on Skype, it was like there was some Asian chick, and she's like, "Hey, add me," and then she's like, "Hey, no, I'm not a hacker. I'm not a scammer from Nigeria, or Russia, or China. No. No, I'm here for love. I love you long time." Uh oh. Love you long time. Love you long time, sailor. Oh my God. You come to the right place. Yeah, so the last neighbors, it was a white middle-aged guy, and it had the Filipina mail order brides. Make enough money, you can order women from a catalog. Yeah. Order women from a catalog. Up at the Google search engine. Google search, and it says, "I'm feeling lucky." And it says, "Our third decade of climate action. Join us." Oh, we're dedicated to a carbon neutral world, a carbon free world. We want to dedicate this world to endless, corrupt, greedy business scams. Please help us along our journey on scamming the earth. Continue along with us on this path of greed and corruption, and hooray! Bravo! Continue with us on a path of corruption. Maybe you can get a cut of the action, kid. Ooh. Oh. Do you think I'm sexy? Guitar chords, that's funny. In my search thing. What is this? Big chocolate boobies. No, I didn't write that in there. Somebody must have hijacked my account. So boobies. Boobies. Honky donkey donk. Oh, that's a good song. Honky tonk, bedonky donk. That was an awesome one, huh? Honky tonk, bedonky donk. There's nothing better than bedonky donk. What if you had like the Donkey Kong, bedonky donk? You should make a song for. You should redo the song, but make it for Donkey Kong. Was that? No, that would make sense. It would be like you want to see Donkey Kong's ass or something. That would be bad. Huh? See Donkey Kong's ass. The Donkey Donk. Donkey Donk. No, that'd be too whack. Too weird. They get bit by a mosquito. A mosquito? Got bit by something, Dawn. All right. So we're going to do, for the rest of the year until the election, no
We're gonna remember no Matt Drudge in Drudge Report. I'll be tempted to look at it since it's kind of habitual. But this guy hates Trump with a passion. So, why do people who are gay, homosexual, hate Donald Trump? They look at him as like kind of the antithesis of what they are, like a patriarch. And I guess it's some form of envy. So, there's such a thing as is there such a thing as homosexual envy of straight people? I don't know if that's really a thing, but I know that gay couples usually cannot have children, so that could be a motivate a hate motivation. You know, that's my theory anyway. Is that Matt Drudge hates Donald Trump because he's heterosexual and he has kids and grandchildren and so on. He has something that Matt Drudge can never have, or will never have. Something I could never have. Like the Trent Reznor Nine Inch Nails song. I like that song. It's pretty good. Even though it's depressing, it's really good. Something I could never have. Did I play that song in Natural Born Killers? That's a great movie. So, Robert Downey Jr. in the 1980s was like in his Brat Pack phase. I don't think he was actually a part of the Brat Pack, but he kind of inhabited, you know, that Andrew McCarthy type 80s yuppie world. And so he could have been cast in Breakfast Club or, you know, John Hughes movies or so he was running around with that Weekend at Bernie's crowd in the 1980s, you know. Emilio Estevez and the whole gang, Judd Nelson, that whole crew, Andrew McCarthy, I've already mentioned him already, but that was a big like brat packer, and Demi Moore, Ali Sheedy, and all those great actors and actresses, you know. So, but then Robert Downey Jr. gets out of his, you know, Brat Pack movies and movies about he made this one movie Less Than Zero where he's like a drug addict. He probably was already becoming a drug addict at that point. Then Robert Downey Jr. goes into this phase, this art house phase, where he's not big, where he's not mainstream, where he's doing he's taking all these challenging, strange roles, all these weird, he's like a character actor really at this point. He's not like a household name. So he starts to he was starting to be like the Joaquin Phoenix of the 1990s, and playing eccentric roles, like Charlie Chaplin is a great example. He starts to do B movies, A movies, C movies, all over the place. All across the spectrum. So he's known, but he shows up randomly. And he was in Natural Born Killers. He plays a telejournalist from Australia. And his Australian accent is brilliant, and it's so good. It's so good. Yeah. So, yeah. So if you want to see Iron Man and Carnage in the same movie, there you go. And Natural Born Killers, a very interesting film for a lot of reasons. it kind of talks about media's obsession with violence and how that fuels more violence, and that's the whole point of the movie. Oh yeah, Tommy Lee Jones is in the movie too as the prison warden. It's so great. Juliette Lewis, Woody Harrelson. Oh man, it's great. It's a fantastic movie. It's very violent though, so it's about, this violent couple, kind of like a homicidal Romeo and Juliet, I guess. Yeah, but actually, it's Robert Downey Jr.'s performance that is astounding. So, really good stuff. Yeah. And then in the late 90s, Robert Downey Jr. kind of has a sleeper hit, and it's called Two Girls and a Guy or something like that. And the whole drama revolves around a guy living with two women. It's like, it seemed, I guess the point of the drama is that be careful what you wish for. It's not going to be paradise, It's kind of like, yeah, maybe a guy thinks if I live with two chicks, this is going to be awesome, right? You're going to be having, wild sex, and it's just going to, be super incredible. But, yeah, so it's a drama about, I just love it. It's like two guys and a girl or something. I mean, I'm sorry, two girls and a guy and one guy or something. That's a funny title like that. Came on like HBO, like back in the day. I wasn't much into it. I was just like, whatever. That concept of a lot of women living with one guy has already kind of been done to death in entertainment. I guess that the concept of it, whether it's in comedy or drama or reality TV shows or whatever, it's just like kind of boring at this point. My dog's chilling. It is a cold night, and we're gonna get some rest for the big rainy week ahead, and we'll be back for Mario Kart Mondays. Yeah. And then tomorrow's gonna be a big rainy day. Hopefully it doesn't knock out the power. I might freeze me a canister just in case. I got a Destin tumbler. So, yeah, people have been talking about these cups, or they're called crystal cups, or whatever they're called. And it's all people going to Target. Yeah, to get a cup. People going to Target. That's why I'm more and more convinced that TikTok is a Chinese communist thing. I think it's not just a spy and information collection device, but it's also, I think it's a way to encourage Americans to do stupid things and to do dangerous things. So it's Chinese government infiltration into American society using TikTok. Yeah, it's TikTok is evil. Yeah, because it gets the youth to do stupid things, or mass hordes of people to do dumb things, like care about a cup from Target, or stand on milk crates, or jump out of the car with Drake singing "In My Feelings." Jumping out of a moving vehicle Does that sound like it's going to go very well? Or standing on a bunch of milk crates? No, but the Chinese Communist Party does not care how many Americans die or get hurt in their stupid shit. So, well, on that positive note, God bless, best of success. MAGA, make America great again. 4 more in 2024. And I'll see you tomorrow for Mario Kart Monday. Or I might play some games tonight. Like, I'm not going to stay up past 3. And then I'm going to get some good rain, snooze, and get back on a regular type schedule where I'm not up all night and sleeping all day. Yeah, I kind of got in that bad habit when I had COVID because I was used to being sick all day. And then so I was laying in bed sick, sleeping all day because I had the fever and the chills and the pain. And then I would wake up at night and be like, hey, I can't just sleep all day, you know. I was like, oh. And then the next day it would be the same thing. I would stay up a little bit. And then I wasn't staying up all night, not until like 6 or 8 or 10 in the morning. It was more like, you know, like 1, 2, or 3, but still. Maybe at the latest 4, but. And then I would go to sleep for the night. And then I would just stay asleep. And I would just go back to sleep. And I know for some people this sounds like paradise, sleeping, but it was fucked up because it was COVID. And I couldn't help but go to sleep because I was so sick. And so it was not the kind of like comforting, restful type of sleep. It was like the, oh shit, I need to sleep because I feel like I'm fucking dying. So it wasn't restful or pleasant sleep. In other words. So. Ba, ba, ba. So we have the cuddle monster right here. Oh. This is my lovey. I love you, Angel. Angel Lee, you're so beauty. I love you, Angel Lee. Yeah, you're the most beautiful Shih Tzu. Yeah, we're gonna snug tonight, don't worry. We're gonna snuggy huggy, yeah. I'm glad you're comfy. Yeah. Okay. So, we're gonna snug it up tonight because it's a cold, rainy night. And, that's a little puppy. I love you, pretty bear. Oh. Got your toys, huh? Your tinny toys. That reminds me that, what's one of your favorite videos? It's like, it's one of this guy's, working for this news organization. And he's covering this marathon where all these chicks, it's probably like, running for women's cancer, breast cancer or something like that, right? And so, so then this one girl's like, does the interview with the girl, another anchor, and then she's like, oh yeah, I was racing, it was fun, yeah, it was fun to get out today and all that. And then he goes, hey, she had some nice tinnies. And then he goes, like, tinny shoes. But it sounded like he said, I think the video is called, like, and this is the moment where the man lost or got fired from his job. It sounds like he said, oh, she had some really nice titties. I thought it said on there. Yeah. And then I love how he pivots and he goes, no, it's tinnies. Tinny shoes. No one usually says tinny that much. Some people do, but like it's not really. Most people say tennis shoes, tinny shoes. Yeah. So. So it sounded like titties. So that caused the comedy there. Oh man, yeah, it's getting cold, baby. Yeah. Well, so if we lose power, then we do have the supplies. I am the leprechaun. Mike Myers. doing that like. I told the story of the Austin, Texas karaoke party because like this guy had this karaoke machine that was like at this Halloween party, and they had all these like big speakers, and like it had a dual mic so you could do like duets and stuff. At this party, we got like fucking shipwrecked, and like me and this other guy who was I came as Austin Powers as like and then he came as like Anakin Skywalker or something. It was like Austin Powers with Anakin. Austin and Anakin sing the blues at your Halloween house party entertainment, and we sang like Queen, David Bowie, Under Pressure, or like Bohemian Rhapsody or something like it. Like it was like at fucking 6 in the morning or something. I can imagine all the neighbors were like, "What the fuck?" That was yeah, that was a wild ass Halloween in Austin, Texas. Oh yeah, it was. They always say keep Austin weird. It's weird enough. So, all right, we gotta sign off because it's late. Late, peace.